Listen, Joel, the first question I want to ask you is that when you do innovation workshops, how do you set up an ideation session? And what's important to get good results?
Maybe let me start by what I've seen, the kind of practices I've seen within a lot of companies that set up ideation sessions internally. Typically, the biggest mistake I've seen is that people are being asked to ideate cold from a template, which is literally, all right, we spend half a day looking at presentations and hearing research, data, guidelines, all the things you cannot do, right? And now here's 15 minutes. Here's a product concept template. Fill it up with wonderful breakthrough ideas. Unsurprisingly, that doesn't work at all. I think it's a myth, it's a belief that creativity is a flash of genius. So in 15 minutes, I will have an epiphany and I'll write amazing, disruptive concepts. The truth is that ideation is really much a process. And you have to work with the process to get good results with your ideation session. And the process essentially has kind of like 3 stages. The first one is inspiration. You don't start cold, you need to warm up. And that's what inspiration is going to do. Then you're going to ideate with, while being inspired, obviously, by the first stage. And ideation is a process too. It's not about sitting down and start writing whatever comes in your head. And then you're going to turn the ideas you got into solutions. And I'm making the distinction between an idea and a solution because you could have a solution that is inspired by many ideas or elements of different ideas. And when you combine them, then you get a solution, which is much more structured in terms of, maybe the insights, if it's a product, the consumer insights, what's the benefit, how will it work, any differentiating factors, and etc. That's where you're going to structure your ideas and turn them into a solution. So that's really how to make that work, is to take that seriously, give yourself the time and have a proper process, but not expecting people just to come up and sit down and having ideas they never had before. It's not going to work. So you need to ramp up like a plane that's going to take off. You need to get the speed, the inspiration, and then you're going to take off and then get the right ideas and the solutions basically for your project. So think process.